If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Hey, welcome to Monday, guys. It is February the 4th and it's 9:08 p.m. and I am here with you all, enjoying the evening, kicking back with a nice mug of a tasty hot beverage. Tea. Love it. Anyway, and you can tell it's mine. You can always tell which cup is mine. Yes. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty then. Now, let's just jump right in, because I'm sure the water's fine. Unless it's not. Alright, we've got this. Thought this was quite interesting. Let me get rid of some of this now. Okay, migrants pushed three 16-year-old Germans in front of train. Mainstream media covered up the murders. Two of those 16-year-olds died. Yeah, and they were definitely pushed in front of the train by migrants, but of course that was never mentioned in the mainstream news, and this has become commonplace now. It's definitely commonplace here in Canada. You just don't hear the names of perpetrators because a lot of people will jump to conclusions because it's a foreign name, so they just stop giving names. Anyway, three young boys were pushed onto the rails at the Nuremberg S train station, Frankenstein, end of January. Two of them were ran over by the oncoming train and killed. German mainstream media spoke deceitfully of Germans in order to cloak a migration background. Furthermore, drivel about accident and tragedy was put out there, and the three 16-year-olds fell onto the rail. Sure they did. The Nuremberg News respectfully called the first offender that was arrested a young man. The not sure how to pronounce that newspaper suggested that a fight between the youths had just taken a tragic end. Three 16-year-olds were falling on the rails and were caught by the train and ran over and killed. They make it sound like such an accident. Yeah, they were just having a fight and they just happened to slip off the rails into the path of an oncoming train. That's what they would have you believe. Even the Bavarian Rundfunk was of the opinion that the three Germans fell on the tracks. On Friday night, the two youths got into an argument with two other 17-year-old youths at the Nuremberg S train station, Frankenstein. All three of the 16-year-olds fell onto the track during the argument. The next morning, BR Online described the double murder as an accident by which three men, after a fight, fell onto the train tracks. The Franken television channel even titled the murderous event as an S-train disaster. After a row, the two victims fell onto the train tracks and were killed by the nearing train. But on Monday morning, Bild uncovered the bone-hard truth. The murderers who pushed the three German boys onto the rails were a Turk and a Greek who were merely born in Germany. The two victims, Luca and Frederick, came from Haraldsburg. On Friday night, they were visiting the Nuremberg dance club nightlife, and around midnight, they wanted to ride home on the train. At the train station, after meeting a third friend, they got into an argument with the migrants. According to the police, the fight started due to a ridiculously inane reason, which led to a highly aggressive reaction by the two offenders. Surveillance footage proves that it was pure intent to push the three onto the rails, since the train had already been approaching the station at roughly 80 kilometers an hour. Since that train usually does not stop at the station, it ran over Luca and Frederick at full speed. The boys didn't stand a chance and they were both killed instantly. Their friend could barely make it back out. So, quite obviously a murder, but you know that there is lots of protection for migrants, of course. Not so much for you and me. All right, let's go back and see what else we can get into here. Well, look at this. You'll find this interesting. Yes, you will. Vatican makes history. Pope allows Islamic prayers. Quran reading. Oh, really? Why, you would almost think that those two were compatible. No, not even close. For the first time in Vatican history, the Pope allowed for the reading of Islamic prayers and Quran readings from the Catholic facility. The readings and prayer came as Pope Francis met with Israeli President Shimon Peres and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Vatican City, a gathering designed to pray for Middle Eastern peace. A Holy See spokesman said the prayers were supposed to be a pause in politics, Breitbart reported. The Pope said, too, that he hoped the interfaith prayers would foster peace, specifically between Israelis and Palestinians, the news outlet said. Okay, well, you know what? There will never be peace between Israelis and Palestinians, not ever. And, you know, there may be periods of peace, but there will never be lasting peace between the Israelis and Palestinians, not until the Lord returns, as we well know. And, you know, praying Islamic prayers and citing the Quran is not really making any inroads towards peace, really, because we know that the Quran teaches them to lie. And, you know, it's hard to have prayers with people that want to cut your head off. I'm just saying. All right, so let's go back and let's look at this. It's a little bit off topic, but hey, we like to look at all sorts of interesting things, don't we? Because we can. All right, bottom 5 sinkhole cities. New York, Chicago lead the way. I thought this was interesting. 63 out of America's largest 75 cities can't pay their bills, acquired $330 billion in unfunded debt. And via a report on Watchdog, analysis of the 75 most populous cities in the U.S. shows that 63 of them can't pay their bills. The total amount of unfunded debt among them is nearly $330 billion. Most of the debt is due to unfunded retiree benefits such as pension and health care costs. Financial state of cities. This year, pension debt accounts for $189.1 billion and other post-employment benefits, mainly retiree health care liabilities totaled $139.2 billion. The third annual financial state of the cities report produced by the Chicago-based research organization Truth in Accounting states, look at this, bottom 35 worst financed cities in the United States. Taxpayer obligation per capita. Interesting. These are the grade F, 8 cities: Portland, Oakland, Dallas, San Francisco, Honolulu, Philadelphia, Chicago, and New York City. Interesting. And of course, New York City is on the very top or the very worst, however you want to look at it. So that is quite interesting. Top 5 sunshine cities. Ooh, we've got a little bit of a cat fight going on here. Yes, we do, people. A little bit of a cat fight. Okay, well, it didn't last long. They separated themselves. All right. Irving, Charlotte. I used to live in Charlotte. Nice city. Washington, D.C., Lincoln, and Fresno. Grading the cities, grade A, taxpayer surplus greater than $10,000, and the grade F is taxpayer burden greater than $20,000. There are 8 cities in that category. So interesting. What a miserable report. The most shocking thing is how bad the worst cities are, is not how bad the worst cities are, but rather some cities in California actually appear to be solvent. I wonder how that happened. No, really. I wonder how it happened. By state, the above analysis is by city. Also consider state-level liabilities. And of course, what is the black? Oh, the top 5, the black are the, and the bottom 5. Oh, the top 5 are in black, and the bottom 5 are in red. So, interesting. I wonder if those are Democrat states, the bottom 5. I should look. I should know that off by heart, but I don't. So congratulations, Chicago. On a combined liability basis, Chicago is the winner. Each Chicagoan owes the state $50,800 and the city an additional $36,000 for a total of $86,800 per capita. Wow. New York City residents only owe $21,500 to the state plus $64,000 to the city for a grand total of $85,600 per capita. Yeah. So let's just bring in more people that we have to, support. Let's bring them all in because we're doing so well here, All right. Let's go back. And let's look at this right here. This. Yeah. What do you guys think of this? I was a little bit outraged when I found out this, and I didn't really believe it at first. I had to look it up because I thought, no, surely not. I mean, I believe it, but part of me didn't want to believe it. But the part of me that didn't want to believe it, believes it now. So, not at all comfortable with this, according to John Cardillo, a Muslim community patrol in New York City, driving cars that look identical to New York Police Department RMPs. This looks a lot like Sharia police in Brooklyn. That's because it really is. Yes, we have these Muslim officers. They don't carry guns. They have no power whatsoever to do anything. They can't arrest anyone. They can't, do anything much, but they've got police or patrol cars that look exactly like the New York Police Department, and they're driving around New York City, and they're all Muslim. Yeah, I guess they're being, in the communities that have the most Muslim people, there. I don't know. I don't know how many there are or what, but this is alarming. Is this what our cities are becoming? We're going to have Sharia police along with our regular police. We're going to have the religious police as well. What are they going to do? Are they going to beat us if we're not wearing a headscarf? I don't know. What is their purpose? They don't have a gun. They don't have any power. What is their purpose? Please tell me. Someone. Anyone. Yeah. Coming to a city near you. I bet. Yeah. If it starts in New York City, well, it won't be long till it's in other cities. So let me know. If you are in a U.S. city and you are seeing this, let me know below. Is it just New York City or are there others? Apparently it's Brooklyn as well. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of this? What is the need for this? I mean, they're not. Now, I understand. I know that in some communities that are, have a lot of Latinos, they will make a concerted effort for the police force to reflect the population. If there's a large Latino population, they will have a police force that has a large amount of Latinos that can speak both Spanish and English. Now, that's wise to me. So if they want to hire some Muslim police officers, I don't have a problem with that. But what is this? Don't know. Anyway, let's go back. And let's hear from some cat turd because, a day is not a day without a good dose of cat turd. That's what I always say. This tea is delicious. I don't care who you are. You would love this tea. All right. So cat turd. As for the Washington Post, if you have to run a Super Bowl ad for $5.25 million to try to convince people you're not fake news, believe me, you're fake news. Couldn't have said it better myself. Good old cat turd. All right. And here's something else from cat turd. The Rams were right. They're not going to visit the White House. How about that? Yeah, they said that, if they won the Super Bowl, they weren't going to visit the White House because, they're so much better than Donald Trump, apparently. And, they're too good to eat Big Macs. I don't know. But they don't have to worry about that. So it's okay, Rams. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, and this from Bill Mitchell. 4 years ago, Alexandria Occasional Cortex was a waitress. Now she is setting policy for the Democrat Party. Shockingly, I don't find this surprising in the least. Well, shockingly, Bill Mitchell, I do find it a little shocking. So maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't know what that says about me, but yes, it does shock me a little bit that 4 years ago she was waiting tables and now she's setting policy and they are wanting to change the laws of the United States so that she can run for president. So, what do you think about having a waitress? Now, there are smart waitresses out there. And you know something? I waited tables when I was in college, and it is a hard job, and I respect anyone who does that for a living. Truly, truly, I do. And I always say to people, if you can't afford to pay a tip, you can't afford to eat out because those people deserve it. They work hard. They really do. And anyway, so I'm not saying anything about waitresses not being smart enough. What I'm saying is if all you've done in your life is waitress, you really don't have the experience to run a country. Just saying. And if you are going to run a country, maybe you should start with a smaller one. Just saying. All right, let's go on. No, really, let's. Okay, this by Dilly. Apparently, murdering babies is quite lucrative, as evidenced by the salaries at Planned Parenthood. Disgusting. I concur. The president makes $590,000 a year. Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer, 257, Operations Officer, 419, Development Officer, 391, Information Officer, 307, all the way down to the VP of HIT and Business Initiatives, 247,000. So that is more than a U.S. Senator makes, more than a congressman or congresswoman makes. That's good money. That's good money for killing babies. So, here is Snake Plissken. Yes, Snake Plissken. Okay, wow. So, CNN had a copy of Stone's sealed indictment before him or his lawyers did. Last time I checked, that was a felony. The Democrats made a huge mistake angering this guy. Yeah, if Barr doesn't come out swinging and expose these rats for the traitors they are, then we're screwed. Yes, and Barr, of course, is his attorney, and yeah, what they did to Stone was unconscionable, and it really should be prosecuted. Absolutely, CNN should not have had that information, and the whole thing was absolutely ludicrous. It was all meant for optics. That's all it was, is optics. And okay, well. They got their optics, but at what price? Because I believe that this is going to come back and bite them. And I don't know. It'll be a wonderful thing when our country is rid of all the censorship and so forth, because I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of people telling me what I can see and what I can't see, and holding my hand and saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't this. We don't want you to see this. So we're gonna, even though you Googled this up, we're gonna show you something else instead." Really, really tired of that, and I'm tired of the fake news. I'm tired of not being able to believe anything I hear from the media. It's very, very exhausting. It really is. When you have to literally, consciously be sifting through absolutely everything you're hearing. Everything I hear on the news, or I'm in a store and the news comes on, or whatever, or in my car or whatever, I'm constantly, trying to shift it and thinking, is this true? Is this not true? And it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. All right, let's take a look at this. And I apologize, I don't have a lot for you tonight because I really couldn't find that much new news. But tomorrow, I do believe, is going to be a banner news day. I really do, because tomorrow is the State of the Union address at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So I think that is going to be something major. And I don't know, but I just have a feeling that tomorrow is going to be a major news day. Major. But I've been wrong before. Anyway, wanted to show you this, and I'm sure you've heard about it, the massive child sex ring bust. Oprah interviewed him. Bill Clinton, singer Paul Simon, and supermodel Naomi Campbell are said to have been his clients. He ran a farm of sex slaves and sold their babies to the highest bidder. There's more than 600 women around the world that have accused John of God. He is most certainly not of God. Yeah, definitely not of God. And he sexually abused them. He had healing sessions. So let's take a look at this. And also, let's look at this down here. Because somebody has pulled this out of the article, and I think it's important. She claims in exchange for food, they were impregnated and their babies sold on the black market. Hundreds of girls were enslaved over years, lived on farms in Goyas, served as wombs to get pregnant for their babies to be sold. These girls were murdered after 10 years of giving birth. We have got a number of testimonies. Now, we've been hearing stuff like this. I mean, I have for years and years and years, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but I've been hearing back since the 80s of women being used as literally just breeders and for the occult. And basically that is exactly what this guy is doing. Let's go out to the article. It says faith healer with millions of followers ran a sex slave farm and sold babies to the highest bidder. But is that any different than what Planned Parenthood is doing? I would say no, except that, you know, they're a little bit more clandestine in the way they do business. But imagine this guy had all these famous people following him, and this is what he's doing. And he's probably provided babies to them. I mean, we've got to wonder about that possibility, right? So he was Brazil's most famous faith healer, whose miracle surgeries drew millions of pilgrims from across the globe. He is known as John of God, achieved international fame after being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. And Bill Clinton, singer Paul Simon, and supermodel Naomi Campbell are among other celebrities rumored to have visited him. He boasts of healing powers to cure diseases, including cancer, brought people flocking to his compound in small town of I'm not able to pronounce that, central Brazil. 2 months ago, his world crumbled when he was accused of sexually abusing a Dutch woman live on TV. It led to a flood of similar allegations from more than 600 women from around the world. And he, of course, denies all these claims because 600 women, I'm sure they all made it up. And notice the prominent triangle above his head. Yeah, very wicked man. There is nothing more wicked than using religion, the name of religion and the name of God to abuse others. There's nothing lower than that at all in my mind. It's spiritual rape is what it is. You're not only violating them physically, emotionally, mentally, but you are violating them spiritually. It's rape of the highest order as far as I'm concerned. But yeah. Anyway, there's lots about this out there, and I don't want to belabor it too much, but there's lots out there if you want to find more about this. The Daily Mirror has an article on it, and it's everywhere. I don't want to get too involved in it. And I'll tell you why. Because YouTube is getting just ridiculous with this stuff. Just ridiculous. They want to cover this stuff up, and they will go to any length to do it, including silencing those that are trying to bring it to light. So while I do want to bring it to light, I do want to do so carefully. All right. Anyway, I know that this is not a very long video, according to, some of my last videos, but there just isn't a whole lot out there right now that I find is, pertinent to know. There is a lot going on, of course, as always, but I do believe that may change tomorrow. So I look forward to bringing you more tomorrow. And I will always be searching the news and looking for whatever I can find that's of interest that I think may be of interest to you guys. So that's it for tonight. I'm sorry that it's so short, but at least, I wanted to do a post so that you didn't think that I was sick or that the cat chewed up my wires or whatever. So anyway, there you go. That's it for tonight. I'm hoping to bring you more tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow is a very interesting news day. And I guess we'll all see. So I will talk to you guys later. You have a good night. Sleep well. Stay safe. And I'll talk to you soon. Good night.